there is this stigma. There is this stigma that people have of because they don't think of you want to be a chef. It's like you want to be a cook. So they're like, "Ah, I know someone in my family that was doing a blue collar job as a cleaner. I was making more money than that person. It's so interesting that my story is almost linked. My story to Finland is almost linked to his because the thing he went through was even the reason he was able to come to Finland. If he didn't go through that, he would never have come to Finland. If he had never come to Finland, I would also never have come to Finland. Why was I wasting my time trying to learn Finnish? Extremely difficult. By now, when I look back, I know he did all that just to test my resolve. Because Finland is a place where you need your own personal resolve. Otherwise, you will just drift. You need your resolve to clear your own direction and path towards what you want to do. Your conviction has to be strong. So it was almost like the kindness my mom did for him
That he repaid.
that he repaid. My mom did him a kindness when almost no one in the world
Wow.
offered him kindness. So after the job was over, I looked at my balance. I was like, okay, I have 15,000 saved. Wonderful. So I paid my rent for 6 months, just so I don't have to think about it.
Hello, my name is Stephen Ikebude. I welcome you to this episode of the Stephen Ikebude Show. On this episode, we have a very good guest. His name is Deji. I call him. He also bears another name. In fact, Deji, tell us what are your names, and I welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much. My name is Shitabe Ayodeji Ilerioluwa David.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It was a long drive all the way from Pietasar.
Yeah, it was, but I'm used to it at this point.
You don't mean that you are used to driving on the road or you're used to driving to Vaasa?
I'm used to driving to Vaasa.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not used to driving on the road generally, but my wife is the kind of person that likes going out. So sometimes we go to Turku, sometimes we go to Tampere.
So you are the personal chauffeur.
Yes, I am.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
On this podcast, our interest is lived experiences. Leave those who have lived there without 1 day, 2 days, provided that they move from their home country. Tell me, what are you doing here in Finland? And how has it been for you?
So far, it's better than what I expected. So far, but the journey has not been smooth. But we thank God. We thank God. It's been a journey, but so far I've been here for like 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
About 4 years. So, and when I look back to the day I started till now, it's only been God really.
So that will be
2021. Yes. 2021.
Was Finland your first point of entry abroad?
Only point of entry. Only point of entry.
Oh, that's a good line. When you were leaving Nigeria for Finland, what did you have in mind you were coming to do here?
My only perception of what it's like to be abroad is just basically what I see on TV and some of my relatives, what they tell me about their personal experience. Now, when you have relatives abroad, mostly they tell you about the good sides. So mostly you are just narrow-minded on the possibilities.
Okay.
But when you come, initially you only see the possibilities. Then slowly, you begin to see the other side. But so far it's been mostly positive, but there's still the other side of things that people need to be aware of. So
Can you tell us any of those things that has happened to you in 4.5 years?
a lot has happened. It's like so much that I'm even surprised it happened in 4 years. A lot has happened.
Start from somewhere, please.
So when I first came to Finland, even from the airport, things started happening. Nigeria airport. I entered Nigeria airport with 20,000 naira. When I got my plane, my seat, I was with 800 naira. How all those money went to different places. God that knows, but settle this one, this one, this one, this one. The person, my contact at the airport was like, okay, do this, or they'll delay your flight, blah blah blah. But I think it was a scare. But that was one experience. Finally, I left, and when I got to Finland, my friend Olai came to pick me up.
Ola.
Olayinka Moses.
Olayinka Moses.
Yes,
Okay.
Olayinka Moses. He's like my brother at this point. I can't even just call him a friend.
That's good.
He was the one that told me about Finland. Yeah.
He was the one who
He told me about Finland. Yes.
Oluwalomoshi is what I call.
Yes.
That's
his
a
main
very
name.
good guy.
Yes, very wonderful guy. Too good for this world, actually.
Let me steal the story from you.
Okay.
So I will give Ola his due credit. When I was moving to Vaasa from USU, I had an arrangement that when I get to Vaasa, I was going to meet somebody who I could put part of my luggages. So the guy's name is Olayinka. He lives in Tampere now with his family. Olayinka Gold.
Okay.
Gold is his surname. Olayinka. A very good friend of mine. Each time I visit Tampere, I try to say hello. So I was scheduled to meet Olayinka Gold when I moved from UNSU to Vaasa. But the thing is that I didn't move my family at first. I moved only the big stuff because I drove it myself. So Yinka was waiting for me in Vaasa. So when I arrived, guess who Yinka called to help with moving all of the big stuff I came with? It was his namesake, Yinka Oluwalomoshi. And from that day till today, he has been a very good friend of mine. Yinka, I'm sure you're going to see this episode. From me to you, I'm saying thank you. That very point of contact I had with you, till today, still means everything to me. You are really a good person and continue to be that. Thank you, Yinka. And Olayinka Gold in Tampere, thank you too. You guys made my landing here in Vaasa so smooth. But I even had a nap after the whole thing was loaded in Yinka's storage. I put it in Yinka's car storage, everything. I had a nap before I drove back to UNSU. And if you put it on the GPS, Vaasa to UNSU, you will know it's not an easy trip.
Like 5 hours.
Yes. Yeah. So please continue your story.
Yeah. So, okay.
He picked you from the airport.
He picked me from the train station because from the Helsinki airport, then I took another 5-hour train to Pietarsaari.
You go to Helsinki.
I got to Helsinki, yes.
Moved your goods, your luggages to the train.
Yes.
And then traveled from Helsinki by train to Pietarsaari. Another 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Welcome to Japa.
Yes, so some of the reason why the 20,000 had to go because my load was too much. It's supposed to be, I think, 20 kg, 20 kg, and then something you put on your...
Yeah, a backpack.
Yeah, but it was like 30.
Okay.
So I was overweight. Yeah, so I had to pay extra and all that. But still, there was still some exchange of hands of some other little things. Because I did not exactly pay for 30. I paid for 25 or so.
Okay.
I had to bribe someone. Forgive me. So that was also part of it also.
So.
And then when I came to Finland, I was surprised how, even at the train station, I was surprised how open-minded and welcoming everyone was. Someone saw me struggling with the load and just offered to help me carry it into the train. I don't know this person.
In Helsinki?
Yeah, in the Helsinki train station.
Wow. A native?
Yeah. I don't know this person, I don't know me. And I was like, are you sure? Because this guy was looking a bit small statured. He was like, no problem. I'm going to help you do that. So that was a very good first impression. And then I also saw a drunk guy misbehaving, but nobody was angry with the person.
Yeah.
But they always find a way to call the cops anyway, even if. And the cops came very nice to him and all that. Then took him there was no hostility, which was another surprise because of where I'm from. So that was a good surprise. And then when I got to the train station in Piatasari,
Yeah.
Ola came to pick me up. Not just by himself, he came with Daniel. Another person you know. He came with Daniel.
That
I did meet them.
Olumide
Yes, I did meet
Adebite.
them.
We call him people who live here with him in Vaasa. We call him the Baron of nowhere.
Baramide.
Baron, yes.
Yeah. It was another pleasant surprise seeing him because we only talk on the phone, myself and Baron.
Okay.
And then finally we got to meet each other. And he was so happy. He was so happy. And he told me this immediately. He saw me like, it's finally good to see someone you speak on the phone with from Nigeria physically because there's so many people that want to come. You give information, they receive information, but one way or the other, either they don't make the cut school wise or they don't make the cut visa wise. Even though the visa wise is a bit rare, but the school wise is quite common that are denied.
Wow.
So I came, I had to be quarantined for like a month. And then,
Quarantined.
yeah, it was around COVID.
Okay.
So I had to be quarantined for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then, because my school was in Vaasa, so they were like, okay, you just stay a month. School will resume a month from the time you come.
Okay.
Because they were just doing it on Teams. So I could just attend a couple classes on Teams. And then I went to Vaasa, but I had to share an apartment with someone you might know, Duru Daniel.
I know Duru.
Yeah. So I shared an apartment. So I arrived in February 26th in Finland, Jakobstad. And then the next month, March, then I started living with Duru Daniel till August.
Where does Duru? Where is he nowadays?
Currently he's in Vaasa.
Okay.
But I hear that's his thing, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a very ambitious guy. So
I know. He's
very ambitious guy.
He's one guy who came with a lot of swag.
You should have him on the show. His story is a lot more interesting than mine.
You don't mean it.
From his story is incredible.
One thing I know about Duru, at some point, Ola gave him something for me when last time he went to Nigeria.
Okay.
We gave him something that he brought from Petersburg.
Okay.
So I went to his place here in Vaasa to pick it up. One image I have of Duru that is very, very good is that he has swag.
Mm.
You know, he plait his hair, and each time he's still on my contact. So it's been a while we spoke, but whenever I talk or see him, that good image, the guy with the swag. So it will be nice. I will see if it is possible for him to come on the show.
You will love him. The viewers also will love him.
Thank you for that suggestion. Duru Daniel. Is Duru?
Yes, Duru Daniel. Yes.
You don't hear them now. I will find you call.
You know, all of these people I've mentioned so far, because they've told me a bit of their story. It's inspiring.
Wow.
Before they came to Finland and after.
Wow.
It's just amazing. It gives you a sense of, okay, it's possible.
I hope you don't mind that I offered you coffee.
No, of course not. You adapt to things. And even though the taste is not what I'm used to, but every Finnish person from my wife's family, like, oh, you don't drink coffee? Okay, what do you want? Tea, juice? I'm like, no, tea is fine. But this is wonderful. Thank you very much.
Since you don't drink coffee, it's very rare to find.
I know. I'm not just used to it, and I don't change my mind easily.
When was the first time you had contact with coffee?
My first day in class. Oh no, not my first day in class. My first day in kitchen class. Yeah, my teacher made coffee for everyone. I was like, are you all right? I was like, yes. Do you want some coffee? I wanted to be polite. I said, yeah, I'll love some coffee. That was my first time drinking coffee. Or maybe my second time. I would say my first time was there was a show back when I was in school in Unilag.
Okay.
There was a show by Nescaf. Okay. And they invited Adekunle Gold. So that was even the first time I saw him also.
Okay.
And Adekunle Gold came to sing in Unilag.
Okay.
But that coffee was sweet. It's almost like a beverage, not just coffee.
Yes.
So it's way different than just pure coffee.
The one we drink here is brewed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So so that's one of the first point of acculturation. That you come here, they make you fall in love with the brew coffee.
Yeah.
It's a Finnish thing.
Yeah. The coffee and the bread.
People
I didn't like both of it at all. Especially the bread. I was betrayed by the bread. The bread we have back where we come from, you wouldn't think bread could taste like that. But guess what? Now I eat the bread.
That's all.
Now I eat the bread.
We finish.
I bake the bread. No, I don't just eat it, I bake it. So
you moved February to Finland.
Yes.
During the COVID period.
Yes.
The first point of entry or the first place you had a night was in Pietarsaari.
Yes, in Ola's house.
Yes. Even when your school was in Vaasa.
Yes.
So after the quarantine, you moved to Vaasa to stay with you.
Yes.
What did you come to do in Finland?
I just wanted to escape. But I needed a reason to tell my parents. I cannot just say I'm tired of living in Nigeria. My parents would be like, okay, like that's my reason to just leave the country. So I was like, okay, mom and dad, I want to go to Finland to study, but we cannot afford university study. So there is this vocational thing I can do and study for free. And after I do that, then I'm going to study for free in the university. So that was a more acceptable selling point to them. They were still a bit disappointed because they're like, okay, what do you want to study in the vocational courses? I was like, I want to study to be a cook. There is this stigma that people have of, because they don't think of you want to be a chef. They be like, you want to be a cook. So they're like, okay, well, since you said you still study in university, then no problem, because I have a BSc from University of Lagos.
Okay.
They're like, okay, since you still study.
What did you study in University of Lagos?
I studied geology.
So I'm sure they will be perplexed at you. BSc in geology to vocational training in cooking.
Yeah, they were. Because that was one of the points my dad made. My dad is such an interesting character that he might approve or not approve, but he would like to see that you are serious about what. If you say you want to do it, okay, you have to be serious. He didn't. It's not accusatory. I'm sure by now, when I look back, I know he did all that just to test my resolve. Because Finland is a place where you need your own personal resolve. Otherwise, you will just drift. You need your resolve to clear your own direction and path towards what you want to do. Your conviction has to be strong. So, during NYSC, I saved up all my money to buy my IELTS exam.
Okay.
Luckily for me, I was hosted by a church. So I was living for free. The accommodation was free when I was in Abuja, my NYSC. And then when I was tight on cash because I was in NYSC, it was like 60K. That was like 3 months of Alawi in NYSC. I went to meet the reverend that I told him this is my plan to move to Finland. But I don't even know if I'm going to get to Finland or not. But the first step is getting my IELTS. And I've spent all my money on the exam. And I was like, okay, the church will feed you. So the church fed me for almost a year.
What is the name of that church?
St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Abuja, Kubwa, Abuja.
They fed you for 1 year?
Yeah, and not just me. There's other Anglican coppers. So it's like an Anglican coppers fellowship.
Wow.
So I'm eternally grateful to them. They are part of my journey. They fed me for at least a year, giving me foodstuffs. Sometimes they will kill lamb for the archbishop, and then the archbishop will give some of us like the food.
Oh boy.
That kept us alive. Even till today, when I went back to Abuja for my embassy appointment, a couple people that I know were like, oh, okay, it's difficult to find accommodation and it's expensive. Like, I just called the reverend, I have to do something in Abuja. Can I stay? I'm like, yeah, of course, no problem. So I just stayed there. And then,
are you still in contact with them?
Some of the youth coppers, yes, but not the Reverend. I'll pay him a surprise when I plan on going back to Nigeria in 2 years. I'm definitely going to visit him.
You haven't gone back to Nigeria since you came.
No, unfortunately not. I was going to go this year, but my parents decided to come.
Oh, but your own strong though. You left Nigeria to Finland because you wanted to escape.
Yes. Basically.
Escape what?
You always have this sense of the resources you currently have. Is it good enough for me? And when you look outside, you see possibilities and you wonder, that lingering thought when you always wonder day in, day out, that if I'm there, can I achieve? It's a battle, it's an inner battle, especially when you are coming from a religious home where they always preach contentment. You wonder, okay, am I wrong for wanting more? Or should I just make do with what I currently have? And then you keep thinking to yourself, you speak with your parents, or maybe you speak with your mom, and she has a specific answer. You speak with your dad, a specific but different answer. You speak with your reverend, he has a different answer. It's left to you to get your own personal conviction and be like, okay, this is probably not bad. Let me just go see what's out there. I can always come back. But you don't wish to come back, but it's always a choice. But let me just go see what's out there.
You came to see what is out there.
Yeah.
In the white man's land.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you came to the land of the Finns.
Land of the Finns.
What has this land taught you?
Patience.
Patience.
Patience. Patience. And there's a difference between patience and procrastination. It's not quite the same. Patience, okay, you have a plan. You know it's going to take time. Little by little, you are taking off things on your checklist.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, in a way, you are disciplined, focused on achieving those things. But some things just take time. Currently, I'm in Swedish school.
Okay.
I want to use this language to do the next thing. But it's going to take me 2 years to get the language. So there's an internal battle that, okay, this is taking too long. But, like patience, you will get there.
You lived 4.5 years in Finland.
Yes.
Now, are you done with the reason that you came here?
I'm not going to university yet, but I'm going to apply.
What about the cooking?
I'm done with the cooking, yes.
So that was the first thing that brought you here?
Yes.
So you're done with the cooking?
Yes.
4.5 years after, now you are seeking to learn the language.
Mm-hmm.
You chose the Swedish language.
Yes.
Why the Swedish language?
Partly because my wife speaks more Swedish. She speaks both Finnish and Swedish, but we agreed it might be a bit better for our kids to speak Swedish first. Also, Jakobstad is a place that is Swedish dominated.
Okay.
And Swedish is a kind of language you can also use outside of Finland. Okay, Swedish in Sweden, and I think maybe Norway also. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe Norway, you can use a bit of Swedish. Maybe they're different dialects, but definitely in Sweden, you can use Swedish. Finnish is, I think it's just limited to Finland. And Finnish is a lot difficult. It's very difficult. To me, when I started learning Swedish, I was like, why was I wasting my time trying to learn Finnish? It's extremely difficult. Swedish
This
is a lot.
Not a Swedish country.
I know.
I know.
But it's I don't know. I'm just going with Swedish first. Let me just see.
You mentioned wife.
Yes.
You mentioned that she speaks Swedish.
Yes.
You mentioned that she also speaks Finnish and Swedish.
Yes.
Are you choosing Swedish because of your wife?
Yes and no. Yes, because Swedish is our primary language. And no, because honestly, I'm not interested in either of the language. But just to fit in, I have to pick one. And I found Swedish is a bit easier for me to understand.
You're going to dedicate your next 2 years learning the Swedish language.
Yes, learning the Swedish language.
Your wife, you met her here.
Yes,
You married her here
yes.
in these 4.5 years.
Yes.
Oh boy, you be sharpshooter.
That's why I told you a lot has happened in 4.5 years. Like, even if we go back to the beginning, can I give another shout out to Ola?
Please go ahead.
We moved into the apartment, myself and Duru, in March, but we didn't get a job till the ending of May. Yes, till the ending of May. He paid for our apartment, and he also gave myself and Duru pocket money every month till we got a job. That's Olayinka Moses. So he paid for our apartment, and he gave myself and Duru pocket money every month till we got a job.
Hey, Oluwalo Moshe did this.
Yes, he did this
in this country.
in this country. He had a lot of things going on, but still, he did it.
Oh boy. For you and for Daniel Duru.
Yes.
And you never knew him, you're not family.
That's another story. We have time, right?
We do. This is a conversational talk show.
So
There
the
is no
reason I
limit
said
to time here.
Ola technically is my brother, because since I could remember my earliest friends, he was one of them. This is my house. This is a road. This is his house. Back in Nigeria.
Where in Nigeria?
I'm K2 Lagos.
Wow.
So
What is the name of that street?
Fumilayo Street
In Ketu.
in K2. So my house was number 17, Fumilayo Street. I'm not sure what his house was, maybe number 12 or something, but mine was number 17, Fumilayo Street. And we just crossed the road, and that was his house.
Wow.
So we go to the same church. We basically had the same friends till he moved to another street, and I went to boarding school. So there was a bit of contact lost. But my mom was still keeping in touch with him for a whole other reason. So it was almost like the kindness my mom did for him
He repaid
that
back.
he repaid. My mom did him a kindness when almost no one in the world
Wow.
offered him kindness. It's so interesting that my story is almost linked. My story to Finland is almost linked to his, because the thing he went through was even the reason he was able to come to Finland. If he didn't go through that, he would never have come to Finland. If he had never come to Finland, I would also never have come to Finland. And even if he went through that, if there were people in his life that were not in his life, he probably would also have come to Finland. So it's just a miracle. The things that have happened in his life and how he got to come to Finland in itself is a miracle. Then linking me into that story also, another miracle.
Oh boy.
My admission was a miracle because it was the day of the deadline that Yinka printed up everything I had, gave it to Daniel, and Daniel went to submit it. Basically, the last day of submission. Because back then they were still doing paper.
Yes.
Yeah. So the very last day was when they submitted for me.
Daniel, you mean Baron?
Yeah, Baron.
Olumide
Yeah,
Adebisi.
Baron, yes.
Wow.
So even my admission is a miracle.
The miracle child.
And
The miracle sharpshooter.
miracle. And then I didn't have enough money in my account. So the money I even got, another miracle. And then we went to apply. They responded, no questions, another miracle. I boarded flight, came to Finland, and then things have just been happening. Like, okay, so Yinka paid for myself and Duru. So for 3 months or 4 months, we're just eating rice, macaroni. Maybe we'll use tomato paste, make concoction. It's not jollof rice, it's just like a concoction. Of course, they were giving us lunch in school, so that substituted with balanced diets in a way. Otherwise, rice would be growing on our head. So basically, we eating rice for 3 months. We didn't. Time went so fast that when myself and Joe we think about it, we didn't really buy egg. We could not really afford it.
You couldn't afford to buy eggs.
It was luxury. We basically bought what we needed to survive because yes, Olayeka gave us money, but we knew okay, this money is for 1 month. We need to be wise with it. So we prioritize on carbohydrates and tomato paste. Yeah,
For 3 months.
for 3 months. And you trust Duru. Duru is a kind of social guy that, if not for Duru, I probably wouldn't have gotten a job. So Duru was speaking with people. He has that talent of getting into
He
social
has work.
circles.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just a quiet guy. Contrary to what people think, I'm not shy. I'm not a shy guy, but don't think I'm shy because I don't talk. I just want to understand your what will I call it? Your baseline.
Mhm.
I don't know. Something I learned is I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but boarding school. I was in boarding school for 6 years, and in boarding school it's like, but it is similar to prison, but not prison. Why I say it is because your respect and the respect other people have for you determines your hierarchy, and
True.
talking too much devalues your respect.
Hmm.
So it's like it's a very tricky diplomatic thing in boarding school, and that's a whole another thing. But it's just something that stuck with me that okay, I don't need to say anything till I need to say something. Because
Three, 3 months
yeah,
you were without job.
yes,
And then you got your first work due to the social skills of
Daniel,
Duru.
yes.
What kind of job did you get and how long was it?
Construction, cleaning. So you notice the Central Hospital.
Yeah.
Now it's open, but 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was still under construction.
You mean
The
the
H, yes,
yes, the H building at the
yes,
hospital.
yes.
Okay.
So that whole thing, they were constructing it, and then they needed people to clean it.
Okay.
So the company was sold, or is sold, and we were cleaning for sold.
Okay.
And luckily for us, we got in contact with the head supervisor,
Okay.
and then she said, "Okay, you can come start at a particular time." Duru used my phone to call her.
Okay.
I think this is how the story went. So Duru called us so much that she got frustrated. One day I was in class and she called. And she was like, "Why are you calling me on a weekend?" I was like, "It's probably not me, it's probably my roommate. I think we are looking for jobs." So like, okay, send me so. So I told Duru, okay, this person called and we should send so. So he sent and then I sent and then we got jobs basically.
You are open-minded. You are the type who come to the table with all your cards open. Many won't have told Duru that this was what was required from there.
Hmm. Thankfully, I don't have people like that around me,
That's a good thing.
which is something I said earlier. I like to like observe people's baseline before. I don't have a lot of friends because whoever I call my friend, we need to be of like minds to an extent.
So, how long was this cleaning job? How long did you have it?
From that time till 2022, till the end of 2022, I think.
Okay.
It was almost 2 years, almost. And luckily we could clean after school. So that kept a lot of Africans fed and employed. A lot of us. A lot of us. It was miraculous, really. If that didn't happen, I really don't know what we would have done.
How did you feel being a cleaner even after you have a bachelor's degree from the University of Lagos?
I'm a survivor. I don't think of such things because I was making more money than my I know someone in my family that was doing a blue collar job. As a cleaner, I was making more money than that person.
So the money is a motivating factor.
Yeah, especially when you're new, you're always converting everything to naira. You're thinking, okay, I'm making so per hour. This thing per hour is this. Some people's salary, like for a whole day. But of course, you're now relating it to the blue collar work. So I was getting about close to 2,000, not quite 2,000, but close to 2,000
Euros
after taxes
from cleaning
from cleaning
as a new migrant in
in
Finland.
Finland, yes.
You got 2,000 euros after tax.
Not quite. Okay, let me just say before tax, it was about maybe 2,000. After tax, it was like 1,007.
Wow. And this was just within 1 year you moved to Finland.
Yeah, it's just miraculous, really. That's why I said my story is literally not by my power. It just happened.
So your escape was worth it the moment you saw that first payslip and money hit your account.
I went to New York.
You went to New York.
I went to New York.
Oh boy, this guy don't agree with you.
I'd never seen. That was my first job ever. Luckily, my parents are okay enough that we never needed to work like while studying. So it was from studying to NYSC to Finland. That was this is my first job, and I opened my first check, 800 euros. 800 euros. Okay, if I remove rent, if I remove everything I need to feed, I'm still left with like 400 euros of 350 euros. What am I going to do with these 350 euros? I have to level up.
But this was just 2 weeks pay.
Yeah, 2 weeks pay.
Wow.
And interestingly enough, another culture shock. We work so hard that when we walk beside them, when I say them, I mean it's not even segregation, it's just
The natives.
the natives. They will give us a particular room to clean. In their mind, they are thinking you clean that room for a week, but you are done in a couple hours. So they told me to clean a couple offices for 8 hours. I was done in 3 hours.
You came with the black power
Yes, extreme.
and they absorbed it.
They loved it.
And you used it to get euros.
I didn't use to get used. My supervisor was so impressed. I don't know why, but it's like, why would I clean all of this in 8 hours? Like, it just seems excessive. Then later, I hear people saying, oh no, you just need to relax. Otherwise, they'll give you a lot more work. But no, I just don't care about that. I just do what I have to do. And he did. Mhm.
I learned this from the former during the campaign of Benga Otombadania, the former governor of Ogun State.
Mhm.
His first time in Ogun State was as the governor. Working. Second time, maybe Ishesha, like he wasn't doing much anymore the moment he won his second time. So did you at any point in time see that the pace at which you were working was taking away the work you could have kept doing?
No,
Okay.
I didn't see it that way. I just needed to do the work just in case. Not that anything will have happened, but I just wanted to do the work I was given to please everybody because I know that this job is my lifeline. Getting the job alone, I knew I did not deserve it. That it just kind of happened. So even if they say this 10 hours work, do it in 5 hours, I was willing to do anything.
Was
But
that a good mindset when you look back now?
when I look back now, no. But that is one of the experiences you learn after a while. Some people come with the scarcity mindset, and that enhances some good and bad parts of their survival instincts. But when you're here for a while, you're a bit more structured and more balanced. Some might say it's a good thing, some might say it's a bad thing. But depending on your vision, your purpose, it's left to your interpretation.
What the job was so good that even you were so impressed that you put in extra to make sure that your supervisors were impressed.
Yeah.
How long was this job for?
So it was a summer job initially.
Okay.
So you have like 3 months to impress your supervisor
Yeah.
if you want them to continue like your contract.
Yeah.
So for those of you in Nigeria, Finland is a contract-based thing. So your probationary period determines if you get a continuous contract.
Yes.
And even that, depending on what work is available, you can have 30 hours, 25 hours, 20 hours, or a 0 hour contract.
Yeah.
So,
Man,
yeah.
this era of 0 hour contract.
It's 0 hour contract now is just like the thing, unlike back then. So I had 3 months to impress. And I knew that, okay, after 3 months, what am I going to do? Even though I hear whispers that this construction needs to go on and then they'll still need us, which gave me hope. But still, I knew I needed to impress this person, this my boss. So I did all I could. When it was time to do some things, I did extra. Like I did so much that my supervisor was like, okay, my supervisor knew my name. Of course, she knew other people's name, but I don't know, maybe she saw something, or maybe she was like, okay, this person, I can use this person. Either way, I'm happy with it. Use me. Just pay me. Because I need to survive.
Use me, but just
pay me. That was my mindset back then.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, I know where I'm going. My goal is, okay, I made a promise. After this vocational course, university is next. So that's just been my focus, getting to university, but surviving. Because when I was leaving Nigeria, my dad put a couple thousand, $1,000 or so,
Okay.
wrapped it in an envelope, then wrapped it in a plastic bag, and he gave it to me. There's this strange relationship between fathers and sons. He didn't have to say it out loud, but I knew that this meant this is the last thing you'll collect from me. So I needed to make use of that to the best of my ability, because I know once this runs out, I'm left on my own. Coming to Finland means I'm never calling home for anything. Ever. So I was a man on my own. I needed to make it work.
You had a good father. And you still have a good father, I am sure.
He's the wisest one I know.
I met him, not really meeting him, but I saw him
at the airport.
At the airport when he came to Peking. And you're beautiful mom. I am sure he's happy where he is. Seeing that within 4.5 years, you have done strides that most people wouldn't consider possible. I tell you, it's when we say lived experiences, people think that it's an art that you just come to paint however you think or desire. Lived experiences are moments of your life that you never had manual for, and you had to pick and choose. And each of the choices we make in those times, without the manual, either makes or mar us. And that is what I have realized in this my journey coming to Finland. You and I share a similarity such that we had good people. And one of the most fortunate people in this country. Good people at the point of entry. Good people with guidance. Good people who created a soft landing. That point of absorption, you get into a place that you don't know Jack from Robinson. And when I mean people, I mean good people.
Yes.
You have mentioned them so far in your story. Yeah. Where I want to come in now is, it wasn't all rosy for you.
No.
Hit us. At what point did you begin to see the harsh realities of living in Finland?
Sometimes when you are open-minded, but still you try to be a bit.
There is chocolate here.
Thank you very much.
There is chocolate.
You're open-minded, but still open-minded to the fact that you know that your social network is basically what makes you survive in a place like this because you are new.
Mm.
So I knew I had to establish a form of social network, not just in classmates, but people that have been here for a while that are Nigerians. Not to use them, just to get their experience on what it's like to live here. So I met a couple people like Timilaine. Timilaine is a very quiet. You might not even know Timilaine. I met a couple people like Timilaine, and he gave me an insight that it's good to speak with people, but not every conversation is productive.
Do that again.
It's good to speak with people, but not every conversation is productive.
Wait,
And I was like, word.
Who is this Tim? Where does he live?
I think right now he lives in Tampere.
Okay. You met him where?
He was our neighbor,
Vaasa.
where myself and Duro live.
Okay, yeah, in Vaasa.
In Vaasa.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, very quiet guy, very disciplined, very humble. He just goes under the breeze, unnoticed by people that don't really matter yet, people that don't pay attention. And you know, okay, this guy is one of the ones. As you said earlier, good people. And then sometimes you learn the hard way. I'm a kind of person that if I open up to you and then I hear my stories from someone else, I'm wondering, okay, like why does this person need to know about me, especially something that is a bit sensitive. So then Vaasa is a very small place and people love to talk, which is something that some people don't like, especially me. You it's okay. I don't want to talk about that situation because it's not very hard. You can choose not to associate with some people.
Okay.
But when it comes to something that directly influences your survival, which is your paycheck or your conversation with people, and it might lead to something very serious at work. There was something going around. We got reported a couple times by our fellow Finnish workers.
Okay.
They were like, "We are not working," meaning like the Nigerians or the Cameroonians, basically the black folks. We are not working. And I was like, how can that be? We are working. We are working very hard. And then they started taking pictures. And you find out that some people, they just stand and they're on the phone all day talking. Now, Finland is the kind of place where they are not extremely supervised. Like they let you do what you want to do. But then when they see something like that, then they begin to focus more and more on the things you do. And a couple people lost their job, not just because of that, but when it was time to renew the contract for more specific tasks, like 60% of us were gone.
Wow.
Basically. A lot of us were gone. Luckily, I made it into that.
Yes, those are the things.
Yeah. But at some point, the construction was over. And then we were all, in a way, jobless, except those that probably have been here for a while, that already have their contract working.
Okay.
And I was jobless. I saw it coming anyway. This construction will be over. So you have to find something else to do. And up till then, I really didn't understand how lucky I was to get that job because I applied to so many places. Everything, unfortunately. till I was finally jobless. But luckily, I don't. Outside of my first experience of spending a lot of money on my first paycheck,
The New Yorker experience.
yeah, the New Yorker experience, something so trivial. I don't know how that month, when I even the next 2 weeks when I got my second paycheck, even within 1 month, I spent €1,000 on trivial things. And I'm not that kind of person. So I was like, okay, this money is like, that's one kind of spirit that I don't understand. So I tried to be as disciplined as possible. So after the job was over, I looked at my balance. I was like, okay, I have 15,000 saved. Wonderful. So I paid my rent for 6 months, just so I don't have to think about it.
Wait, hold on. After the job was over,
Yes,
you had 15,000 euros saved
about 15 years.
in your bank account
Yeah,
here in Finland.
yeah,
And out of this 15,000, you paid your rent 6 months in
in
advance.
advance. Yes,
For what?
I didn't want to think about it.
Ah, you didn't want to think about what?
Rent, because I was panicking that I didn't have a job. And rent coming, I was like, I don't want to even think about this. I need something to breathe. I need to be able to breathe. So I was like, okay, let me just take care of this rent. And I took care of it. If I didn't have that cash, maybe I'll have to call Ola to help me again. And that wouldn't have been good. So thankfully, because I don't spend money outside of that first time, I really don't spend money on things. I spend on what I need. So I took care of that, and then I was forced to face reality. That okay, this is over. What do I need to do? I delivered newspaper in the cold in minus 25 degrees. I was delivering newspaper. I'll wake up 3 a.m., deliver newspaper till 6 a.m. Then I'll shower, go to school. That starts 8 a.m. And when I come back from school, I'll go clean the train station. Clean the train station. My hands are wet and frozen, but you still have to keep pushing. You do that. You go back to sleep, deliver newspaper again. That's basically what my life was like.
For how long?
For at least 6 months.
How many hours of sleep did you get to catch?
If I was lucky, 5. Oops, sorry.
5 hours of sleep.
If I was lucky.
Oh boy. No, you can you can leave it on the table.
Okay, I can leave it
No,
like this.
just leave it on the table. I think it will be fine.
Okay.
You had 5 hours of sleep, though.
Sometimes, most times 4.5, but 5 on a weekday. On the weekend, I get to sleep 5-6 hours.
For 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Was that the kind of life you were hoping you were going to live when you moved abroad?
No, but I've heard worse stories. It's not like you're feeding off negativity, but when you hear a couple more stories, you're like, okay, my situation is a bit better because I know someone that was deported after all the stress of getting here, and then there is no job. You are looking for a job, you don't find any job. There are some people that were here for a whole year and they didn't get jobs,
Oh boy.
and they were deported. 2 of them
That you
that I
you
know.
knew them
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, they were deported.
So it's not even guaranteed that when you get to Finland you are going to stay.
No, it's rare because a lot of people probably don't know people themselves that have been deported because of jobs, because of lack of jobs, but it happens. But if you are determined to do anything to survive, then you survive.
Yeah, your story hits me differently, bro.
Mm.
And it's actually eye-opening, that you live in the same country and then you have similar experiences. And then when you're going to have some different experiences, it becomes like, from nowhere, and you are literally in the same city or in the same place with the same people, but the experiences are way, way different.
Mm-hmm.
When did you meet this wife? This woman who has made you a sharpshooter.
So after a while of doing two, three jobs while still going to school, it's not like full time jobs. You are doing maybe one of the job is like 10 hours per week. Another one is maybe like 5 hours per week. Sometimes I go to clean ULA office, and they're only going to pay me 1.5 hours.
The unit office in Palos, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I also clean that because I disturbed my supervisor. I was like, look, I need a job. And she was like, okay, I have 5.5 hours per week job. Can you do it? I was like, no problem. I'm going to do it. So up till I met my wife, my mind has just been on survivor, 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 survivor. I work, I go to sleep. I work, I go to sleep. I work, I go to sleep. So I went to Jakobstad. I told Ola that look, I need extra like jobs. What can I do? And he said, okay, he can let me do Wolt. Wolt is a food delivery service.
Yeah.
So okay, no problem. I'm going to be a Wolt driver. So while delivering food for about for a while, even on Christmas Day, I was just delivering food up and out to people's families in the cold. But people were saying sometimes you see people through the window. They are cutting turkey and all that, and then you are just going to press the doorbell, your food, blah blah blah, and then you're back in the car waiting, looking at your phone, waiting for that. So I did what, and then Ola was in the car with me one day, and he saw the other. He was like, "Oh, this person, I know this person," which happened to be my wife. But at that time, she was a strange. I was like, "Okay, Shamsa, okay, interesting name." He was like, "I know this person. This is my girlfriend's friend." I was like, "Really? Okay, no problem." Then I delivered to a house, but it was locked. The down gate was locked.
Okay.
So she said she was. You text through
Okay.
or you call, and then she's like, "Okay, she's coming down." And then she came down. Initially, I didn't really catch a lot, but you feel something like, okay, this feels like a very beautiful person. And then she said, "I hope you have a nice day." And it just felt different. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Now Wolt give you one.
It felt different. There's a way that some people say something and it matches with their body language. It's like this person really meant what she said. Because when you're voting, you go to the cashier, you pick up the order.
Yeah.
They tell you have a nice day, but they don't mean it. It's like you feel that these people don't mean it. They just take have a nice day. You go. Or sometimes you see them smiling, but this smile is fake. You pick your order, okay, no problem. You go. But now there is this person and she's smiling and she said, have a wonderful day. And somehow you are feeling that okay, it's like this person really means what she's saying. So that was the beginning. So when I entered the car, I was like, bro, you say you know this person, Abby. How can I get in contact with this person? And he was like, he's going to talk to his girlfriend. So after like 2 months, I finally got a number. Because I searched her name on Instagram. But I was trying to be cool. I was like, no, let me just play it cool. Don't let me rush.
She can be the
So I waited 2 months.
baby, the miracle sharpshooter. Your wife is going to watch this.
She's watching. She knows. We've spoken about it. So even to the point where she told me her own side of the story. So our own side of the story was she got downstairs. She said, "Okay, this guy is quite handsome." That's what she said. I'm not trying to hide myself. Like, this guy is quite handsome. But guess what? Other Wolt drivers have tried to talk to her before. So I was like, okay, interesting. So why did you choose to talk to me? She was like, some immediately disqualify themselves by trying to call me on the Wolt number.
Okay.
Of course, that's against Wolt policy.
Yeah.
But that is just to creepy from my own side
Okay.
because, of course, women are more like they are more. How will I say it? They are more protective when it
Yeah.
comes to things like that.
Yeah.
And then she said, okay, when her friend spoke to her, she asked her friend a couple questions, and then she's like, okay, maybe let me listen to what this guy has to say. And then I went to Google, search Shamsha, but I don't know what it means. I need to know what it means.
Mm.
Shamsa, I was like, okay, Shamsa is sunshine. Okay. So my opening line was, wow, you have a beautiful name.
Okay.
And I threw that sunshine. I sure did like some Shakespeare poem thing. It's like, I sure did it. So I was like, wow. So from there, I'll be Shakespeareing up and down,
Awesome.
And then we spoke for maybe 2-3 months,
Okay.
and then we got to meet on a Sunday, the 28th of May,
Okay.
2023. I still remember.
Wow.
We went to a coffee house, a coffee place, and we had coffee. We spoke. We had that cheesecake. I even know what I ate. I ate cheesecake that day.
Love is a beautiful thing.
And I was thinking of moving to Jakobstad.
Wait, the date you had with her, you had to drive from Vaasa to Petersburg.
So not exactly. So I knew that I don't have a future working in Vaasa. I'll probably tell you the reason
Okay.
afterward. But I knew that okay, I need to move away from Vaasa. I knew a year before that this might not work because I'm doing 2-3 menial jobs here and there. It's not sustainable. I need something constant, something stable. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to move to Jakobstad. My plan was to just come to Jakobstad and do Wolt, but to still apply for jobs here and there. And then Ola told me his boss might be in need of someone where he works. He works in a restaurant.
Okay.
So he told me his boss might need someone that maybe I can apply and be interviewed. So I applied, and the boss felt I might be a good match. I was like, okay, let's give you this 3 months probation.
Wow.
If you are good enough, then we will retain you. So the day I was supposed to start on the Monday 29th,
Mm-hmm.
I met my wife the day before on the 28th.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
So the same thing with when I started cleaning. I worked so hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
When I started, I worked so hard that usually when they teach you to do something, they teach you for like a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
They taught me for 3 days, and from the fourth day, I could do everything by myself.
In the
Not everything, but I could.
yeah, you can do it. You can
I can work independently. Yes, basically. Of course, if I don't understand something, I'll ask.
Mm.
How about this? But I took a picture of all the menu. I went to read it at home. I took a picture of everything, translated it to English. I went to study it, the menu, how to assemble all this, blah 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 blah. I went to learn it at home. So I just needed to know, okay, this is where you keep this. I take picture. Okay, this is where you keep this in the fridge. Okay, I still got lost sometimes, but at least from the
What language was the menu
in Finnish.
Wow.
So I still know a bit of Finnish kitchen, like Finnish words in like the kitchen, but still I needed to really, really understand it. So I translated it to English. So they were so impressed that they were like, okay, it's like this guy.
28th of May,
Yes,
you had a date
with my wife.
with your wife.
Mhm.
The sunshine.
The sunshine.
On that note, we are going to take a break. We're going to come back to hear how the miracle sharpshooter convinced his sunshine. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the continuing part of this episode with Shitabe, the miracle sharpshooter. They're just joining us. We were just talking about how he met his sunshine on the 28th of May. What year was it again?
2023.
David, I welcome you back.
Thank you very much.
How did you convince her that she needed to be the one?
I'm not sure I did much convincing. I was just being myself, talking about my dreams, aspirations, where I come from. It's probably intriguing to hear some of these things from someone that has been in Finland for so long and reconnecting to someone that is from a similar background. Not necessarily from the same, but similar. She is from Somalia
Okay.
and she came here when she was like 5. So most of our interactions outside of our family friends that she knows that are Somali,
Yeah.
most are Finnish or Swedish.
Wow.
So our lifestyle mostly revolves around our circle, which is Somali family friends and Finnish and Swedish friends. So listening to some of the things I had to say, it was just like a new perspective. And maybe she was just curious in the beginning, wanting to know more. Or maybe it was a spark, who knows? But on my own hand, I felt something that day and I couldn't deny what I felt. So I was more curious. I needed to know why I felt it. I was curious. And of course, she's beautiful. And when after that first date, I found out she was intelligent. That's something I also value. And I found out that we are a bit compatible
Okay.
because I'm a kind of person that I'm cautious. So even the people that are my friend, like my people that are my friend, she sees a couple things that we have in common. It's not like we are the same, we are totally different, but there is something we have in common. So I wanted to establish if there is something we have in common.
Yeah.
This person would be my confidant. But she's my first girlfriend.
You said?
She's my first relationship. My wife, my first girlfriend. That's how intentional I am with people that are around me.
Your first girlfriend
My first
ended up
girlfriend.
becoming your
My wife.
first and only wife.
Yes. Because I was the opinion that if I'm to date someone, I have to marry the person. It's like I don't want to waste my time basically. So if I'm dating you, the dating process is just to ascertain how what our differences, are we compatible? Is this person wife worthy? So I think for the first 6 months ish, I was, checking. Probably she also was doing the same thing. And it got to a point where I was like, wait, what's wrong with me? 6 months has gone by, and every time this girl is just my word. Am I actually in love? Like what's going on here?
How long were you? How long did you guys court before you
We
met the
courted
woman?
for almost a year
And you married her when?
in August 16, 2024.
2023, August 16. Wow.
Yeah.
When you were leaving Nigeria, were you hoping you were going to meet a wife here?
Mm-mm. To the point where my mom was always like, okay, when are you going to marry? Because at a certain age, your parents ask you whether you're a man or you're a woman. It doesn't matter, Nigeria or Africa. They ask you, okay, like what's your plan? What's your goal? Do you want to be in academics? Have you finally found out what you want to do? Do you want to settle down? And she wants to know the answers to these questions. So like when do you think you are going to marry? That's what my mom was asking me. This was like 7, 8 years ago. And I was like, maybe when I'm 35 years old. As I told my mom, she was like, hey, God forbid. I'm like, why you God forbidding this? Shit. Then my dad also asked me, okay, I've never seen you around a girl. Like, what's going on? Like, what do you mean? It's weird for my dad to even ask me that kind of question because that's not our kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about it, much of it back then, but now I think he was just trying to understand that why, just curious, I guess, why have I never seen you?
How many years
with
have you
anyone?
lived in Finland before these questions from your parents came in?
Oh no, they asked me back when I was in Nigeria. So this was all about 7 years ago.
Before you moved to Finland,
Yeah, about 7, 8 years ago.
did it ever come up while you were living here?
No, they were surprised when I just told them I want to marry someone.
It has it. She has
does.
a charm on you, man.
She's special.
She is. I can feel the specialty.
Even I was talking with Ola one point. I was like, have you noticed that you're in love with this person? And he was referring to my wife. And I was like, I think I might be. Because without knowing it, I was talking about her.
Do you guys have kids or?
We have one daughter, and she's going to celebrate her birthday by the end of this month.
Oh, happy birthday to her in advance.
So we sort of knew we were going to end up getting married. But
when did you get that conviction?
When we professed our love to one another.
Okay.
Not even just then, we had, after the honeymoon phase, some things get real. So we had a form of problem. And then after we overcome that challenge, and we overcome it because our communication was strong. If we didn't have strong communication before, it would have been broken. So after when we came back together, we're like, wow, what we have is truly special. So from them, it's been clocking to me that, okay, I think this is the person I might end up marrying.
You married her in August 2024.
Yeah.
Today what month is this? This is October 2025. And your child is going to be 1 year.
1 year old.
In this October.
Yes.
How many months of marriage is that?
1 year and maybe 2-3 months.
And you already have a 1-year-old child.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they shoot.
So we actually decided to get married earlier because we didn't want to have a kid out of wedlock. But when my mom asked me, are you sure this is the person you want to marry? And it's not just because you have like a kid, you're expecting a kid. I was like, no. Like, we already knew we were going to get married, but maybe 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line. But because of our principles, we didn't want to have a kid outside of marriage.
No explain plenty. You shot, in fact, you shoot your shot or you shot your shoot, whichever one, past tense or present tense. You did well. You did well, and I commend you because this is a very beautiful country.
It is.
And raising a family here is one of the best things that can happen to anybody. Finland is quite very family friendly.
It is.
And like you put it, the moment you got the conviction, you didn't see any need to, keep the wheels rolling around. Congrats, happy birthday to your daughter in advance.
Thank you very much.
It's a good one. Hopefully, at some point we're going to see. Your sunshine is from Somalia, you said.
Yes.
We'll find a way to get out of the show. 20 years here, like you said, she will have a lot of experiences to share.
She does.
But back to you. Vaasa, the Jakobstad. Now you're learning Swedish for the next phase of your life. You finished your vocational training in cooking.
Yeah.
And now you work as a chef in Jakobstad, in Pietarsaari. 4.5 years is the length you have lived here so far.
Yeah.
You have really done well for yourself.
I hope so.
Did you have any kind of checklist of these things that you have accomplished before you moved abroad?
Honestly, no. As I said earlier, my goal was, okay, I want to study, but I cannot quite afford to study in a university. But then I heard that if you come here, there's a chance you can study in a university for free if you have like a first degree. That's what I heard. And so many of my classmates have done that. But I just want to learn the language first.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah, it's like a way of me taking a step back prepare myself, then go back into that. So that's still my
Is it
plan.
recommended that people step back when they come
Um,
abroad?
it depends on your personal goal. Some people don't have a goal; they just want to live, which is fine. What's most important is when you come here, you need to really evaluate your why. If your why is just to live, okay, you want to live why? To escape the hardship of Nigeria because there's hardship here in its own unique way. Or do you want to escape the hardship of Nigeria to build something here?
Have you ever experienced any kind of hardship in Finland since you migrated?
What people might call hardship to me is not hardship.
What is yours?
Hardship can be when I was unemployed. Before I was unemployed, I was having a bit of a lifeline. But anything that threatens my survival, I think to me is like an hardship. And after I was unemployed for a bit, because I can't say I was totally unemployed because I was still doing a bit here and there,
Yeah.
but it felt like I was unemployed because imagine going from 1,007 or so when you're off school. When you're on school, when you have like school sessions, it might reduce to like 1,005, 1,004. But imagine going from that to earning like 700 every month. It's not, or 600 every month. You feel like you're just working to pay all your bills and then you have zero left after all. So it's a bit threatening to your survival. So that's what me, I would personally call an hardship. And luckily for me, it was a very short window.
You mentioned bills.
Hmm.
And you mentioned having less.
Hmm.
Bills, payments abroad. What has your experience been with it?
It's quite unique compared to where we're from. Where we're from, you are not dependent on this structural payment method. Where we're from, every man for himself. You want to build a house, you best have the money to pay for the house. But here, you can be on a mortgage. And I even found it interesting that if you are living in Vaasa is a government subsidized building in Vaasa for students.
Yeah.
If you are living in Vaasa, it hasn't happened to me, but I know some people that they were finding it difficult to pay the rent. So they called Vaasa and like, okay, I'm going through something. Can this bill be extended by 2 months? And they agreed.
Hmm.
And that was surprising for me because I didn't want to get to that stage at all. But you don't pay your bills. If you don't make that call, then it goes to the debt collectors, and that's another whole conversation. But yeah, there's a financial structure that you can be working and all your money will just be going to paying bills. My dad told me something 2 years ago. It was like, it doesn't matter how much you earn. What that matters is how much you keep.
Hmm.
Because you can be making 3,000, but you're saving less than 50 euros if you're not careful every month. Or you can be saving minus something if you decide to get a credit card. So your way of life is just to be making money for these financial institutions if you're not careful.
Wow.
Yeah.
In your own case, you saved 15,000 euros, paid your rent up to 6 months in advance.
Hmm.
Do you think your savings culture helped you to absorb the shock of the hardship when you lost your job?
It did. If I didn't have that money, only God knows what might have been going through my mind. I saw on like the newspaper that a student committed suicide. This was like 3 years ago, maybe. A master's degree student, I think, committed suicide because bills, tuition fee, all of that, and he couldn't just cope.
Where was the news?
It was on what's the name of this one? It's not the Helsinki one. It's This one that is like it has a red headline
What city did this person commit suicide?
in Vaasa.
In Vaasa.
In Vaasa. It was the Vaasa.
Blooded.
Yeah, Vaasa. Maybe Vaasa.
Yeah, we have Vaasa blooded. Vaasa led
Yeah,
the.
because I when I was done distributing newspaper, I think, or maybe I saw it. I don't know how, but I got my hands on a newspaper. I usually don't read, but I just saw it. Either that or I saw it online. Maybe when Google recommends like some
Okay.
news, and you click it and then you see. But
Is it common? Do people commit suicides in Finland?
it's not that. I don't think it's common, especially for us. But still, there's people with either mental issues or their situation drives them to the unthinkable. Because to me, right now, it's unthinkable, and I hope that's the way it's going to be forever. But some people's story, you never quite know how desperate they might be, or how much disgrace they are not willing to put up with. Some people would rather not. Some people rather live illegally than to get deported to Nigeria. So every to each his own.
Some people will rather live illegally than get deported.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So to each his own.
To your tent, oh Israel. Oh boy. So the person who committed suicide was a migrant.
Yeah, a black person.
A black person in the country.
I've forgotten,
Oh boy.
but I saw he committed suicide. So it's like a headline thing.
Imagine how parents, acquaintances, family members, on all the aspirations he had, hopes, dreams. When he come to Finland, he was going to achieve all of this. Just like that, the conditions of living abroad took him.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that bad living abroad? In your own 4.5 years, what would you tell us is the most difficult or uninspiring experience you've ever had?
I would say my story is not quite unfortunate because I haven't had an extremely damaging situation. Some people might even listen to my story and be like, okay, you had it easy. And I might agree with them. My situation only lasted a short couple of time, mostly because there was a cushion. Even while I was doing that, I finished my studies from Varia 6 months before I graduated. And because I was unemployed, because there's these things we do, practicals.
Yeah, internships.
Yeah, so your practical is like half of your study time ish if you add everything together. So because I was unemployed, I went to meet my supervisor. I was like, look, I don't have a job. So can I do my practical instead? And she said, okay, because probably I'm one of the serious ones. She knows. She said, okay, even though I was supposed to do it like way down the line, she said I could do it. So I did a practical in Stefan's Steakhouse. It was an a la carte.
Yeah.
And so I did it there. He I don't know if he liked me or not, but at least his opinion of me when he gave his remarks to my supervisor was I'm one of the more competent ones. And then because I didn't have a job anywhere in Finland, I did an external practical in Germany. So I went to Germany and did a couple more practicals, and then I had maybe a little more practical to do, but my supervisor said I didn't have to be in school to do it. I could be anywhere in Finland and do it. So that's when I decided to finally pack all of my things and move to Jakobstad.
Which part of Germany did you go?
Kiel. Kiel is I don't know what side of Germany it is, but it's not a major city, but at least it's quite recognized.
How long was the
city.
internship?
It's like a month. So not too long.
Did you have people there or you stayed?
The school organized myself and some other Finnish folks.
Okay.
And luckily I was joined by I think 3 other Africans. No, I think it was 4 other Africans. One from cleaning, from like a cleaning vocational
Yeah.
course. And I was joined by Daniel
Okay.
also.
Aha.
Yeah. It was, if he wasn't there, I would have just been a boring, I'll just be bored basically. So
Okay.
luckily for us, he came with us.
Okay.
And another lady, Ayomide Fabumi. What is that her name? AY, we call her AY.
Where is she?
She's a chef in here in Vaasa. So
Oh,
she still
she's
lives in
there.
Vaasa.
Okay.
Yes.
Ayomide Fabubu.
I don't know if Fabumi is an,
I think
but I know her name is Ayomide.
Okay.
It might be Fabumi if I'm not mistaken, but
Okay.
her name is AY. And we're joined by Sylvia. Currently, she lives in Helsinki, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, all four of us, including the lady from cleaning. She's Yoruba,
Okay.
but she's in the cleaning side. So
Are you are Yoruba?
yes,
Which part of Nigeria are you actually from?
uh, I'm from Lagos. I know some people say okay, we're from Lagos, but
Ah,
my family is
Eko.
actually from Lagos, Surulere.
Surulere.
Yeah.
I schooled in government college here. No.
So that Shita Street is where my family house is in Surulere.
Is the place named after you guys?
Yeah,
You belong to the Shita family.
yeah.
I schooled in Surulere in government college, Lagos, Erikmo. I finished there from 2002. And then I worked with concept tutors, where I was a teacher for a while. I was teaching pupils who were in, I think, junior secondary school then, and wow, I know that area. Shita, Masha. Concept was in Adeno Busoya, Jalupon Close of Adeno Busoya. Then they also had a place in Masha, in Oluwole or Olukole streets. And then in Aguda, Wiliomi 60A in Aguda.
It's interesting you know a lot about Surulere.
I can tell you that I lived my immediate part of my adult life in Surulere. Until today, I still have very good and fun memories, good people, good contacts. GCLO too. I still go to Surulere. There is no way I will be in Lagos and not be in Surulere. Cheetah is the popular. Cheetah is the most. That is, you can't know Surulere and not know Cheetah. Well,
Yeah.
that.
Unfortunately, I didn't. No, I can't even say unfortunately, but I didn't just grow up in that setting. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure why, but let's just say close to 90% of my family is Muslim.
Okay.
My granddad married my grandma, which was the only Christian, and then all of our kids are Christians. Yeah,
Are you a Christian?
yeah, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
My dad is a bit of. I don't even know what my dad is, but he reads the Quran. Also, he reads the Bible, and he just interprets it in his own way.
He's a modern man. You know, religion is nowadays religion has become subject to interpretations. We don't know which is true or which is false. So I always leave it to personal perceptions. You know,
Some people would say spirituality is what matters.
I am a Christian. You know, I'm a baptized Catholic. I'm a communicant in the Catholic faith. But I really don't hold people or wear medal. You have to be a Christian, a Muslim, and a theist. No. Maybe it's something I acquired living here in Finland. You know, to be a good person first before you show your badge, your religious badge of honor, you know, or whatever identity you want to push on it. Be a good person first. Treat your fellow humans as you want to be treated. Be open-minded. Interact with people. You know, many will consider it whatever they want to consider it, but I would prefer to have good times with people and to come and begin and to have the will I say an innuendo of good and bad. You're supposed to be a Christian, you're supposed to be a Muslim. No, it's not my role. I don't even want to. I won't judge you for it. I'm not interested about it. I just want to be able to have, humane, interactions. So I join your dad in that regard. When I moved here to Finland, Buki Ali was the person I stayed in his house. Quite interesting. I haven't shared this before.
Okay.
Buki Ali is a Muslim. May his soul rest in peace. He's late. He's late. May his soul rest in peace. I live with Buki in Riyimaki for a couple of months. Buki was a Muslim. I am a Christian. Like I told you, I'm a Catholic. And we Catholics, sometimes in our own individual homes or private homes, we have like a small altar where we can put up as a point for prayer. We can have the statue of the Holy Mary. We can have the crucifix, where Christ was nailed to the cross. So we can have it, and we can have candles. The candles can either be electrical candle, where you just put on the switch, uses battery, or you can lit up the candle. Would you believe that Buki allowed me to have an altar in his house? I have not said this anywhere before. That is to let you know the level of tolerance, religious tolerance, that we need as individuals to appreciate the differences that we as people have, and to understand the extent at which diversity should be appreciated. Buki Ali, a Muslim in whose abode I was living, allowed me to erect a Christian Catholic altar where I pray in his house. I don't know how many people will let that happen. But religious tolerance is a good thing. Seeing people first before their identity is even a better thing. And then appreciating that we are humans is the best that can happen. That we as humans, we are infallible. But this is not about me, but I just wanted to chip it in.
No, I really love that.
While your dad, the stand that he has, in finding himself from a Muslim background, and the future that he has upheld as a Christian father to his kids, and being able to put the two knowledges together. It's a refinement that most of us should have. It increases religious tolerance. It opens your eye to the boundary that has been set by those who have used their dictates or interpretations to shape us. So kudos to your dad.
And kudos to his dad. I wish I met the man, my granddad. But sometimes whenever I give kudos to my dad in my own way, I don't know why men are just we don't give our flowers so often.
We don't.
Of course, now we do, because maybe I'm grown and I'm perceived as no longer like a boy, but now like a man. So we have a lot of grown conversations. And he told me a couple stories about his dad, my granddad. My granddad was a sheikh in the Muslim
Yeah,
world.
a sheikh, yeah.
Married a Christian wife.
A sheikh who married a Christian
wife. And not just a sheikh for the whole of Lagos. And he married a Christian wife. And he sometimes gave examples to his kids according to the Bible, because his kids were Christians. And then it's like there are some ways my dad gave me examples of the things he said, and I'm like, wow, that's just so wise. Even when they are going to church, it's like, okay, come, like on the Sunday morning, this is your offering, this is your offering, this is your offering, this is your offering for church.
A Muslim cleric, a teacher, a sheikh, giving offering to his Christian children.
Children. Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
So I'm sure a lot of my dad's aptitude came from his dad, and a lot of who I am today came from
Fathers
my
are
dad.
important.
Too important.
Dads are the crowns of jewels that most people never get to wear. We should appreciate our father. My own father is late. You have yours. He still has a lot to teach you. He might not have the time as he would or desire. From me to you, stay close to him. For the experiences that you are still going to have, he has had. Every day he seeks the opportunity to teach you. Fathers are the most important people anybody can have. It tells a lot. And fatherhood, from my 10 years of experience, 10 plus, fatherhood is a cult, is an initiation where whatever your offspring turns out to be, you still hold yourself responsible, even though all the conditions of raising that child is not your to decide. You still hold you. That's a higher calling. You have a 1 year old.
Yeah.
You already have 1 year history.
It's not been as easy as I thought it would be. And it's still going to be more
Go
to
see
come.
manual.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we appreciate the ones that are before us, because they get a lot to teach us. Man, chocolate still there here.
As the conversation is sweet sometimes.
Oh, no.
The sweet past chocolate. Yeah.
I'm going to come back to the steakhouse experience because you used a very fine line there. You had your internship in Stephen's Steakhouse, Kapapustiko in Vaasa.
Mm-hmm.
And the feedback that your supervisor gave was that this is one of the more or most competent. Do you think that the Finns, the natives, see immigrants less competent?
That's a question with a dual answer.
I would want you only to answer based on your lived experience. I don't want a generic response. We're discussing it now from your own perspective. I don't know what you did there, how you did what you did. I don't know the criteria you have to meet. But for him to have given, was it a him or a her?
Him.
Okay. For him to have given you such a remark, I just want to know from your experience, do you think in your 4.5 years of dealing with things, do you consider them as people who think the immigrants from the black race are less competent?
I would say no, they don't. I don't think they consider us as less or incompetent. I
Okay.
think they're just trying to live their own life and achieve their own goals. Maybe for example, when I started working in construction, it's not so new to us that we say hello and then the person just walks by. Some people might feel somehow, but that's some of them. That's just how they are. They are not being discriminatory to you, but it's just their way of life. Something happened not so long ago, earlier this year. There was someone new that came to work where I work, and then the person gave a remark that he finds out that sometimes he might say hello and I don't respond, or even when he doesn't say anything, I don't speak to him till we have something to actually do together. I'm like, I thought about it, like, am I becoming more Finnish? Or this is just who I've always been? I just like to keep to myself till there's actually something to do. So I just think in a way that someone might see me and say I'm snobbish. Or maybe I'm not snobbish. Maybe that's just how I am. Or maybe the Finnish culture has rubbed off on me. Who knows? But every person I've come in contact with hasn't showed me any form of racism or segregation in any way. That is me.
Your experience.
That's my experience.
Yeah.
I spoke with a person, a student,
Yeah.
and the student said that person might be racist. A particular person might be racist because he heard from someone he trusts that that person did so. And that person he was talking about, that person has taught me, and we don't have a relationship, myself and that teacher. But he's always just been professional and like straight to the point. So who knows if his directness offends someone else? And in my own mind, I was like, that person. I don't want to discredit what the person is saying because at the end of the day, who knows if that person that was offended did something, or maybe the teacher was in the wrong. But my own personal relationship with this teacher, I haven't found anything discriminatory about this person.
Yeah.
Even not so long ago, because I have the person's number, the teacher's number.
Okay.
Something happened and I had to talk to him. And still it was, even after I heard, and it was,
Still cordial.
yeah, like, no issue. Even after the call, I was like, why did someone, so personally, no. I just have it. There's a diplomatic way of doing everything. You don't have to take offense to basically everything. If someone maybe did something wrong, it doesn't mean the person is racist. It could just be the person maybe has a bad attitude, or maybe that person was in the wrong day.
Yeah.
It could be.
Which is also fine in some cases, and then it gives opportunity for we won't use 1% to throw away 99%. So
Even going back to Stefan's Steakhouse, I don't know if it's because I'm less reactive, but when it's busy, like on a Friday night, Saturday night, extremely busy, like others are just coming in, like the waiters, they don't even care about the kitchen. They're just throwing the orders, expecting us to make everything. And then the head chef just gets angry. So you have to not mess up. And if you mess up, there's a time I messed up an entire order. You have to make everything all over again. This guy shouted on me. Like he screamed on me to the point that the manager was like, lower your voice because the guests are starting to wonder that what's going on in the kitchen. And after the end, I didn't react. I messed up, so I messed up. Like I didn't react because personally I messed up, but I don't really care about what he's saying because in Nigeria I've messed up and then our supervisors, teachers, lecturers, they've screamed at me, they've done all those things. So maybe I'm a bit desensitized to things like this. So maybe one of those things he might have noticed that okay, this guy understands that when it's kitchen hours, whatever he says, it doesn't really mean it. It's just reactive. It could be. I'm not saying you should just go and yell at your subordinates or anything like that, but I didn't take offense to it. Maybe he liked that about me. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
would you say you have done above average in your 4.5 years of migrating?
Of my own personal,
Yes.
definitely. I'm not quite there at the advanced academic level yet.
Where is that? Where are you hoping that it is going to be?
So there is this quest, deep mission about me, which is to uphold my family name and family morals. I don't know, it's been instilled in me since I was like quite young. Something that no matter what, I can't shake it off. It's just a part of me. I want to work for my family. And there's something in common with my family. We are quite entrepreneurial in a way. In a way, not just in a way. My granddad did wonderful things. My dad has a business. He's doing wonderful things. I've always been a bit entrepreneurial. Maybe it's because watching my dad do what he does.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the days when we were quite tight for cash, strapped for cash.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of things that I didn't know, but now I know.
Hmm.
But my mom held it things together. There's something so cliche when they say when your mom gives you money and says it's from your dad, but your dad doesn't have money.
Hmm.
It's your mom that's basically giving it to
Our
you.
mothers, we can't do without them. Oh.
Like so many things that I. There was a time because I remember sometimes I go give the landlady cash. My dad says, "Go and give the landlady this money." So he gives me like maybe 100K.
Mhm.
I just go upstairs and hand it over to my landlady. Not knowing that probably maybe we were behind rent and this is just okay, take this one and later we go
Balance.
top up. There's a time, even now that I think about it, I don't know how my mind did not really put two and two together. My dad came to visit me in school and he was wearing Dunlop slippers. The sacrifices that he made that were just staring at me in the face, but it didn't click. But anyway, he made all the sacrifices and now thankfully this business is doing well.
That's good.
And I don't know I don't know if it's maybe because of the things he has done
Mhm.
that maybe there's some form of entrepreneurial spirit in me. I want to go to school to read business, so business administration or economics. That's my goal because I want to start a business
Here in Finland.
here in Finland and also back home.
You plan to go back home?
Because it's my dad's business. There is something about I don't know. I have a way of looking at things. I try to simplify everything.
Okay.
If I ask you what's the single most important thing about business, what would come to mind? If I was to ask you just
Rhetorically.
yeah, rhetoric, what do you think is the first thing that comes to mind, or the most important thing you think in business?
If it is profit.
Okay, that is true. But when I think about things like that, my mind goes to leverage.
Okay.
Leverage comes in all forms of things.
Yeah.
Profit is a leverage,
Yeah.
but history is also a leverage.
True.
Now, my dad is a kind of business that he painfully built it for about 25 years. That's leverage.
So there are things he has gathered.
Yes.
Hmm.
So passing it on to the next generation, that next generation, if they're serious, they'll have it a bit easier than he did.
Generational work. Are you the first son?
Yes.
Are you the only son?
No, I have a younger brother.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm 5. So 2 boys, 3 girls.
Okay. Now it makes sense. I'm trying to connect the dots.
So it when I look at the things he has done, I just feel I'll be doing him a disservice to not continue his legacy.
What about your own legacy in Finland?
And that's my dilemma. I feel I work for the family. Like when I was in Nigeria before I came to Finland, about 7 months before I came to Finland, I was working for my dad. He had an hotel that he was doing, an hotel business he was running. I woke up around 8 a.m. I went to bed around midnight. And I did this I was the cook of the hotel and also the assistant manager of the hotel. So from 8 a.m. till midnight, every day for about 6 months, I did this every single day. And my dad was like, "This guy, you might die. So just take Sunday off." But from Monday to Saturday afternoon, I did this. Then Saturday, my mom will come take me home, and I come back again Sunday night or Monday morning.
Where is this hotel at?
It was in Maryland, Mende,
Okay.
in Lagos. But now the lease expired. The lease of the place expired and he moved on to something else. But his core business is still import and export.
Okay.
But that he just did for extra cash flow.
Okay.
So I wish to establish my own business. That would be when I can say, okay, this business has gotten into the hands of my grandkids.
So yeah, I know you mentioned that's the dilemma, combining, putting together what you hope to do here entrepreneurially, and then keeping the family legacy too entrepreneurially. Being able to run the two locations is the dilemma. But
It is.
bachelor's in geology, University of Lagos, cooking, Bamia, Vaasa, Finland. Right now, a chef in Pietarsaari, studying Swedish language. What should we expect of you in the years to come as you continue to live here in Finland?
I ask myself that question almost not every day, but at least on a weekly basis. I try to see if I'm still on the right path. Because I ask myself, do I really want to be a chef or do I just want to build something? Because I tried to open a restaurant also.
You tried to open a restaurant.
Back home in Nigeria, but it didn't work out. And Ola also is entrepreneurial. So we tried to do this thing during Jakobstad Day. I don't know if Vaasa has a Vaasa Day.
Yeah, we have.
So we opened a
Vaasa.
small kitchen in Jakobstad Day.
Okay.
And I was cooking. I made food, African food, with a bit of twist. And if some Finnish folk came to it, they loved it. It was quite stressful, but I loved it. It's like some people might think things are stressful, and it might be. But if you enjoy it, are you really working or are you having fun? So it's like even when I was doing that thing for my dad,
Yeah.
I really loved it. But my dad was like, this guy's going to die. He was the one that said I didn't really see it. I could have just dropped dead, but it was like this guy, you kill yourself. But he quit his job to pursue business. He was chartered accountant and he quit and became a carpenter. And from carpenter he went to the funeral business, then the funeral accessory business. Why would a chartered accountant go to that route? Because he loved it. Working every day as an accountant might not be fulfilling for him. It might feel like a job. But him working tirelessly day and night on his business didn't feel like work.
You escaped Nigeria
Yeah.
to come to Finland. 4.5 years down the line, what would you call your fulfillment?
You mean so far?
Yes.
I think one can't really quantify experience, but I would say my family, my immediate family right now, myself, my wife, and our daughter. Every time I look at her, I just feel accomplished. Even though there is so much more that I can do on my own personal goals. And she's growing. There's this sentiment parents feel when they look at their kid and think they are the best in the world. I don't know. I just feel proud.
Your daughter is a Finnish citizen.
She probably will be, or she will be.
Is your wife a Finnish citizen?
My wife is a citizen. I don't like to dwell too much on the future because who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, your wife is a Finnish citizen.
More likely.
Automatically, your daughter is.
I hope so.
So you have a strong tie to the Finnish land.
But my story is still one that is still being written.
Yeah.
I just hope to go to school, study business, and then hopefully get to do something with it.
What would you say to those who are coming to Finland or those who are new in Finland? What kind of words of encouragement from your own experience will you extend to them?
My humble experience, as I'm still new, I've not spent that much time, would be it's easy to lose focus. And I can't really define what focus is depending on the individual, but it's easy to lose focus. I'll give an example. When I first came to Finland, no shades to anyone, but when I asked this person, a person that's been here for 7 years, like, how do you feel being in Finland so far? And you find out this person's answer is probably similar to what he said the first day he came to Finland. Yes, he's been in Finland for a while, but there's almost nothing to show for it. He's been cruising for 7 years. I don't know if maybe I was not fully aware of everything he plans to do, but looking outside, it might just be this person might just be cruising. To me, I would say to whoever is coming to Finland, if you are fortunate enough to get here, try to be consistent. Try to be patient with yourself also, but be intentional. We that we come from a hard place, I guess we are intentional. It's like someone that doesn't have a lot of money knows what to do with money, but when he gets it, he might blow it. So try to be intentional because it's very easy to just find comfort and just decide to just be comfortable. If that is your thing you want to do, then that's fine. Who am I to tell you what to do? But if you feel that your purpose is not achieved, then step out of your comfort zone to try to achieve it.
To the many Finns and natives of Finland who have been overwhelmed by migration and migrants moving to their country, changing their landscape, what would you say to them?
I'll tell them to basically just chill. Because it's not, I understand they feel, some of them might be so patriotic that they feel invaded. And I might not blame them, even though some of the actions might be wrong. But I try to relate it from where I'm from. Now, in Lagos, there's Fulani people there that live in Lagos. People from the north that migrate to Lagos or to the west. They migrate and then they do these menial jobs trying to survive. Now, there's some Yoruba people that look down on them. And there are some people like my dad that instead of booking, this go-card or something to carry to deliver load for him, he would rather get an outside person to do it, or instead of taking Uber from. I'll give you an example. When I came to Lagos from my youth service,
Yeah.
I dropped at the bus stop Maryland, but I had a lot to carry. So I called my dad. He met me at the bus stop. And I was like, okay, should we book Uber to take everything into,
Yeah.
And I was like, no, let's just um, get one of these outside guys to push it for us
With the truck.
with a truck into an outside guy that is driving Keke Napep.
Okay.
Because I knew he could very well afford Uber. And I was like, why? That's so stressful. Blah, blah. I was like, look, if you don't, if you give Uber your money, they wouldn't need it as much as these guys that are just hustling every day. My dad just always finds a way of dropping something.
Innuendo.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, wow, I didn't think about it that way.
He's
He just finds a way of just dropping quotes for somebody. I'm like, okay, that's nice. So I look at it that way. Some people are so tribalistic because tribalism is something back home in Nigeria that they might not notice. Some people just don't like the Hausa people for no other reason than what they've heard or for just whatever reason. The same thing might apply to these Finnish people also. They might feel that we are invading their privacy and maybe some of them become racist, but they don't have to be. We can always coexist. What is theirs, if they do their job well, It doesn't really have much to do with us. I don't think it does.
So a bit of tolerance
A bit of tolerance, yes.
will go a long way.
And they should understand that there's a feeling I get right now. There was one time I looked at my bill that I spent on food for a month, and it was like 400 euros. I was like, this is crazy. Why do I feel comfortable spending 400 euros on just food? And when I first came, all I could spend in a month on food was 30 euros. So
30 euros?
Yeah, 30 euros. When Ola was giving us allowance, we had a specific amount that we had to spend on everything for the whole month, and all we could spend on was food. So I put my money that Ola gave me, Ola gave Daniel, put it together, and we all bought food. But now, 10x or 12x or 15x, that is what I'm spending in a month on food. And it's like, okay, my appetite is quite different than what it was before. Same thing with the Finnish guy. The Finnish guy might want things he doesn't need and might feel we are infringing on his right to do that, but it doesn't really matter. We're not really in the same place. I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. I came in contact with somebody um, that I heard rumors, I still don't know, that this person is a truck driver. And this person feels that we are coming in to take his job. Just the same way some American people also might feel that immigrants are coming into the trucking business to take their jobs. And they might. But you just do your job well enough then.
Because life is going to be lived
Yeah,
with or
with or
without.
without you.
And you cannot be there forever. Somebody has to play the role
Exactly.
that you are playing right now after you.
Maybe it's because from my way of life, entitlement is something that I don't think applies to me.
Do you belong to the Yoruba community in Finland?
I don't even know what that is.
You don't.
No.
Which then? Which association do you belong as a Nigerian, as a Yoruba, or
I'm just a guy that is in Finland, basically. The first maybe community outside of my own clique, which is myself, Daniel, the two Daniels, Ola, and then Ola introduced me to you
yeah?
about how many years ago? Almost 2 years ago or so. Then you invited me into a community, the Ajo community.
Yeah, yes.
That is a community, very important community, and I give you kudos also. You have no idea how important what you are doing is. And then Duru also was like, okay, there's this Vaasa Nigerian thing also group. He recently just added me to it. It's like I don't even know what's going on around there. I'm just focused on one thing. But now, anyway, I'm just looking around to see what's important. Community is very important. But I didn't know how important it was till I had a kid. And like, I want my kid to experience a bit of African community or Nigerian community. I didn't really used to go to church before, but now I go to church almost every week.
Would you say the hustle in Finland took you away from the community integration?
Double pay. There's double pay on Sunday and you have to go to church. So I prioritize work. But now it's like when my wife introduced me to a new point of view, it's difficult to accept initially. But then I go back and I think about it. And I'm like, okay, I try to think about our own point of view. And I'm like, okay, actually, that might make sense. So slowly, she's opening my walls to new experiences. Me meeting with in-laws regularly because I don't like meeting people. But slowly, I'm meeting people, and before the meeting, I'm a bit apprehensive a bit. After, I'm like, wow, that was actually nice. I don't mind doing it again.
Okay.
Ola has been trying to have us to have a social function, and now I'm the one that's telling Ola that let's try to be playing table tennis twice a month. Let's be meeting. Let's do this. Let's do that. And the thing is looking at me like, is this not the same person that 3 years ago, 4 years ago, was telling me all of these things? And I was like, I don't have time for it. I'm just hustling.
There is a new episode of the show that is going to drop soon.
Okay.
my interaction with the person was also relating to this that you just mentioned. He's spent his time enumerating the different phases that we immigrants go through. And one of the things he mentioned was just uh, the face changes after a while. You begin to appreciate small things you never would have considered at your point of entry or at the survival phase. Now, slowly, you are beyond the survival phase.
Mm.
How would you tell or advise people who are in the survival phase? How would you advise them?
It's difficult to advise them. It's not difficult to advise them. It might be difficult for them to accept the advice. You know why? When I first came to Finland, where I am right now, someone that was where I am right now was telling me, don't worry, just be focused, do this. All of those worries will be solved. But me at that stage, I'm not listening. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not listening. I want to experience it by myself to finally acknowledge. That's why it's so important for us to listen to elders. They've gone through it, they know what they are talking about. Where you are, they've been. They're advising you, but your coconut head will not let you accept. You go through it. That 4 jobs, they are telling you to just calm down and just work your 2 jobs, enjoy life, or maybe not just enjoy life, be more strategic with your time. When I was working 3, 4 jobs, someone was working just 1 job and he decided to learn Finnish. Now the person can speak perfect Finnish. And it's now that me, I'm trying to learn the language instead of back then. Now my story is different from his. Someone might just come and be like, no, I just want to hustle, 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 hustle. I can tell the person that, okay, it's good to hustle, but hustle with a plan.
Also with a plan.
Hustle with a plan. You want to hustle, yes. You want to only sleep 3 hours a day, or you want to just be caffeinated, but you don't have to. Now, so if someone had told me back then, or someone actually did, Daniel was like, chill, you don't have to. And when he said it, he said, I know you will not listen to what I'm saying, but someday you will understand what I'm saying. That your health is more important than this money you're chasing. But now I'm telling someone that just comes to Finland that don't risk your health for this money you're chasing. The same thing they told me 4 years ago that I did not listen. It's what I'm telling somebody right now. And the person is not listening. But I know the person will go through that phase. I hope he will successfully go through that phase and arrive to the point where I am right now.
The way you detailed it, I am forced to ask you this question. And I'm hoping that you are going to answer me as factfully, as truly as possible.
Okay?
Do you think people who live in Finland or who migrate to Finland do not seriously take the advice given to them by those they know already?
Judging from my own point of view, I would say yes. Because I also did not take a lot of advice seriously. I heard what they said, but it went like this.
Why is that?
For some people, it might be a matter of trust. Now, if you trust that person, because some people don't trust, some people just have trust issues. But now, if you trust that person, your second line of defense, I think it's a defensive thing. And it could also just be a way of life thing. Your second line of defense would be, okay, you've lived through it. That is why you are saying it. You've experienced it. That is why you are saying it. Someone that immigrated here might have borrowed money to come here. So the person wants to pay it back. So you are telling the person to chill, but the person needs to pay back the debt he or she borrowed to come here. Me advising someone to chill and take it easy. Yes, work, but don't work to the point that you're only sleeping 4 hours a day. The person could tell me, you don't understand. I have debts to pay, or I'm the only one that can feed my family, or that. Yes, I understand because fortunately for me, I don't have to send money back home. And this person's situation might be different. But still, chill. You can fall sick, and then that work, you won't be able to do it. Or after doing all that work, 5 years later, you might have ankle problem, but you might have knee problem. I know someone that has knee problem right now because of all the lifting, all the jumping up and down from train, all the running up and down from elevator to deliver newspaper. So many years of abusing his body and not sleeping properly. It's now when your body they feel am. Wow. So yes, they are chasing the money, and some of you listening might be like, "Nah, you only be that," and I understand. You don't have to take my advice for it because I've only spent 4.5 years in Finland. For some people, that might be a lot. For some people that have spent 20 years, that might be nothing. But to each his own.
To each.
To each his own. Those that have ears, let them listen.
Do you think this show has any role to play in shaping the mindset of people who live here right now and those who are hoping to travel abroad to become immigrants?
It does. Because the very first episode you released, I understood how important guidance is from those that have already lived through it. Not everyone will give you advice, unfortunately. If I didn't have the people I had when I came here, my life would be a whole lot different. I'll have to learn things. Ola has gone through a lot of failures. So I arrive at the point where he can give me advice. And Ola is someone I trust. And I take some of his advice because on the hustling part, I didn't take his advice. I was just hustling. But on the other part, he told me so many things. I'll give you a very good example. So people just come here and then they learn to drive here. Before I came here, Ola told me to get my driving license from Nigeria. And then when I came, I just swapped my driving license for a Finnish driving license. Now, if I didn't listen to Ola, or if Ola wasn't there to tell me to get my driver's license from Nigeria, I would have spent at least 1,300 euros for the lessons and all that, and the process and all that to get my driving license. Now, that's just one example. Imagine if I didn't know Ola. How would I have survived the first 3 or 4 months without a job in Finland? Ola gave me information. Ola connected me with Daniel because Daniel was living in Vaasa. Ola connected me with a very wonderful soul, Dalbert. I don't know if you know Dalbert. Dalbert. I don't know if I should call him Dalbert or Dalbert.
We have a Dalbert in Vaasa.
I think
Is it the same person?
It should be. I think it's the only one I know. Yeah, it's the person.
I call him Zimuzo Chuku.
Yeah, very wonderful soul. Introduced to Dalbert also. Through Ola, I think I owe my success in Finland to Ola. Although Ola also said that when I got to Finland, maybe some of my own little experience that I know, I also told him too. And I'm very frugal with my money, except for that time where I spent money at New Yorker. Yes, my New Yorker experience was just not unlike me, but it happened. But you need people's perspective, you need people's experience to be able to get your life in order. If I didn't have my dad in my life would have been so much more different than what it is right now. Same thing with people in Finland. There's also someone very important in Finland, Daddy Oyinlade. I think his name is Mr. Oyeshino. He works in Seoul. He's quite elderly.
Where does he live?
He lives in he lives not far from here. The same place I told you my photographer friend lives. The same area.
Is he a pastor?
He's a pastor, yes.
I know him.
He's also one of the people that told me a lot of just personally, and also like sometimes you see I'm doing something and you'll be like, okay, no, this. He will give me some of his perspective.
Wow.
And I appreciate people like that.
Please, for record's sake, please mention his names again.
I think I call him Daddy Oyinlade or Daddy Grace. But I think his name is Mr. Oyeshino.
I have had one on one.
Yes, but he's a pastor.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was also the pastor who officiated Daniel's wedding.
Yes.
Yes. A very good man.
Very good man.
Go
Fun
ahead.
fact, me and Daniel got married. Did our wedding party the same day. It wasn't planned though. It just happened because Daddy only came to my wedding in Jakobstad, then left my wedding to go to Daniel's wedding in Vaasa.
Daddy only in your
So people like that, it is you can still make it, of course, in Finland if you don't receive advice from people, but your journey might be longer. You might have to make mistakes you shouldn't have made. So people that are watching, there's a lot of things they will get that they don't have to experience themselves. Just like the things you've gone through in your own personal life, you're teaching your kids this. Don't do this because of this. Don't do this because it's your own personal experience. You've gone through that for you to know better. And some maybe also your ancestors has also done a bit of refining, and the process becomes easier and easier on the next generation. So I think it's important also for the good ones to guide the next generation coming.
Wow.
That's what I think.
David, you are too packed for one episode
Me?
of the Stephen Ikebude Show. Even me personally, within 4.5 years that you have lived, there is a depth of reasoning and philosophy that I am experiencing right now, just having this conversation with you. I thank you for making time for this episode. I thank you for the sacrifice that you made to drive all the way from Petersari.
No, it's no problem.
And I personally thank you,
Sorry.
For sharing all of this for all of those who are going to watch. The names that you have mentioned, are people who, out of their selflessness and goodwill, played roles that they never would have thought advanced your life here in Finland. Some of them might watch this video, some of them might not. But at any point in time, for those who will watch, I'm sure it will hit a nail of feeling appreciated, that the little roles they played, in ways that they played it, made advancements. The first episode that you mentioned, I had mentioned about Charles Agumbiade, who gave me an insight on why the position of my housing should be close to work. Charles made a comment in the YouTube video, even on Facebook, all the way from Canada. And yes, and he said, after all of these years, he never would have thought that, like, do this, do that, advance my decision making. So has yours been for you. Thank you once again. And on behalf of those who are watching, I hope when we call on you for a repeat of another episode, I hope you are going to honor our invitation.
Of course, anytime. I don't even know if I really even did a lot in this episode, but as time goes on, hopefully God is going to give me more wisdom.
It's been 2 hours already with you.
So fast.
And I still feel energized to continue.
I mean,
but you will have to drive back to Petersari.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. And I wish you keep doing this, because believe it or not, you might think what you are doing is trivial, but someday, it might not be tomorrow, it might be a year from now, it might be 10 years from now. Someone will say it is because of you, directly or indirectly because of watching this show, that the person got insight on a lot more other things. The person could even be in Nigeria currently And then 10 years from now, maybe come to your show and tell you that I saw this many years ago and it helped me do this. And you might be surprised thinking what you're currently doing is not a lot, but it might mean a lot to somebody. So I implore you to keep doing this.
Thank you.
And of course, I'll be waiting for more episodes to come.
Thank you
So I
very
can
much,
keep
David.
getting renourished.
Thank you. David also has something coming up. Something related to his lived experiences. And when that time comes, I'm sure all of you out there are going to be invited to join in. Once again, bro, you too much.
Thank you, sir.
I don't give you a nickname for this our episode.
Which nickname is that?
Miracle sharpshooter.
I know you should shot. Now just God do it.
My brother, God will one for you. My prayer is that He will do it for many.
Amen.
Who are living in Finland and many who are hoping, to meet their greener pastures.
Amen.
Thank you.
I just hope the next time, by God's grace, the next time I come to this show, I hope some of my internal worries, I will have overcome them.
Amen.
It's a dilemma where you are trying to be patient, but you know what you are doing takes time. So I just hope my plan keeps going as it's going, and then when that time comes, I hope I've overcome a couple more things.
I wish you power. I wish you strength. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you energy at those times that your energy might be failing. One of the few things I have come to terms with living in Finland. Most people do not pay attention to it. But the little interactions that I've had, I call them little due to the nature of the job that I do. I come in contact with people every day. And 90% of these people that I come in contact with are natives. And being together with natives, things, it's how you get to hear some of the salient things that keep them alive, energetic, and resilient to survive the 4 seasons of the year. I'm going to say one now.
Okay.
I'm going to say it because it's one thing that drives me up. When it is autumn, we notice that the sunshine diminishes. It becomes dark. Most Finns prefer snow. Do you know what the snow does?
What does it do?
When you drive look at it now, it's dark already. 5 p.m., 6 p.m., the darkness illuminates the whole place. When you drive in the night in Finland, during the winter time or the autumn, it's practically dark. The snow gives light. The snow reflects small lights that come from the taivas. Taivas in Finnish means sky. And the snow itself is illuminating. It has this luminosity that comes out of it. My interactions with Finns made me realize, in as much as the winter can be harsh, we cannot take away the light or the lightness that comes from snow. It illuminates our path. It brings us in lightness that creates a plus that negates the darkness of the winter. It took me a while to come to terms with it. The winter can be dark, winter can be depressing. There is something nature provides that helps us to combat it. That is the smell. We're going to continue on the next episode. David, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
I also thank you, all of you out there who have spent time to follow and to watch this episode. It's a long one, but you can also tell that it has been quite refreshing hearing the lived experience from David. Please, I enjoin you, I implore you out there to support us. To support us in ways that you can. It doesn't cost you money, but it shows us that you appreciate and feel connected to the show. And that is by subscribing to the YouTube channel, by leaving a comment if there is a part of this episode that has done a plus to you. It is sharing this episode or the link of this video to those that you know will learn one or two that they could apply in their journey. It goes a long way in letting us know that what we do, what we discuss here, and what we share here is received on the other side. In as much as we pay attention to these lived experiences, and we are sharing our lives, on this show, we also want to have a way to hear from you, the viewers out there, that you are part of this journey of making sure that we correct the anomalies, the falsified information, and the short clip that only show the good parts of the sojourn abroad and doesn't tell the full realities of those who live abroad and how the harsh realities that they live determine their life. There is no good without bad. There is no darkness without light. Both must coexist to tell the true reality. And that is what the Stephen Ikebude Show is doing to migration, by letting migrants tell their stories themselves about the experiences that they live in their journey abroad. The more you show us that you are part of us by either subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing, the more we are encouraged not only to bring more people to the show, it also creates an opportunity to have various and diverse realities from different people. So you watching out there, you matter. The success of this show depends on you. Please be encouraged to play your part. My name is Stephen Ikebude, and I'm going to see you on the next episode. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye. Okunimeji.
Boss.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Same here.